Awesome. Pleasure to welcome to the podcast Roger Williams goalie Aaron DeVersa. Aaron, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. Excited to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's do it, man. Well, let's hear the story of the very first time you jumped into goal. Do you remember that?
Yeah, so basically I started lacrosse in third grade and like before I even got my equipment, I wanted to play goalie. And I was a little advised against it because they're like, you gotta learn how to catch and throw. But my coach let me go in the first game and I loved it from there going forward. I think it was me wanting to put on all the equipment and that stuff. But however, like midway through my career, I actually stopped playing goalie. I played attack for like a solid 3 years, and then once I got back into middle school, I picked it back up again, and then I had the opportunity to play varsity in seventh grade. So that was kind of like why I picked it up again, and I'm happy I did.
Love it.
So
So you're attracted to all the equipment. I hear that a lot
that's
from
what I
I hear that a lot
was.
from ice hockey goalies because there's like so much equipment. But it was just like the what equipment are we talking about? The chest pad, the stick?
I don't know what it was. I mean, like when I was younger, you had the shin guards, the pants. Now it's
Oh
the
yeah.
opposite. Now I want to wear less equipment as possible. I mean,
Yeah.
I wear the same chest protector I wore since I started. So, but yeah, now it's less equipment as possible.
That's true. When you are a youth goalie, you do wear a little more protection. What did you wear kind of growing up? You got got the shin guards, you got the thigh
Shin
pants.
guards, yeah, the thigh pants. What else was there? The big gloves I liked, obviously the goalie
Yeah.
gloves. And then elbow pads. It was like a suit of armor, I thought, I guess. I don't know. But
Yeah.
I quickly, once I like started seeing all like college goalies, professional goalies, I was like itching to take it off. I remember in like PAL, you used to have to wear elbow pads and shin guards. So I got like this tiny, like in fifth grade, I got like, I would play a little. Um, Goalie, I would have to like play half, even though I didn't want to play goalie because I switched to like attack at that point. But when I would go in goalie, I would wear like tiny defenseman elbow pads because you had to wear them, and then like the tiny shin guards that soccer goalies wore. So I kind of switched pretty quickly from wanting to wear a ton of gear to wear as little as possible.
Yeah. Elbow pads are the ones that I quite don't understand. I love
I don't get it
yeah,
either.
I love the shin guards. I love the thigh pads. Makes all the sense in the world, but elbow pads like protect the cup of your elbow. Like you never
I
get
agree. That's what I would always tell the ref. I was like,
yeah.
yeah, never get hit there.
Right, you get
But
hit in the bicep or you get hit like
mm-hmm.
on the inside and
Yeah,
you just don't have protection there. And then not only that, like it really limits your mobility. And so yeah, those are the ones where like I don't quite get. But hey, yeah,
I don't get it
they are
either.
by rule. You got to do it. So
Yeah.
why did you give up goalie? This is a goalie podcast. People want to know
So
why you put the pads
I
down.
got like burnt out of it. I
Yeah.
just wanted to play attack, and I think that benefited me the most those years that I played to get to know the position from a different aspect, to like what shooters look for and like thinking as a shooter. And I honestly credit to like the success I had because like if I didn't play attack, I don't think I would have been able to figure some stuff that I had figured out of uh, faking high and going low, like tendencies of shooters that like a lot of kids start learning at that like from like fifth to sixth to seventh grade sort of deal. So I think it helped me a tremendous amount. But I think at heart I was always a goalie.
All right. All right. I love it. Yeah. Well, I 100% agree. I think that learning to play other positions like attack or midi or even defense benefits your goalie game a tremendous amount. I mean, one, you got the stick skills, right? Because you said, like, learning how to catch and throw helps your goalie game a tremendous
Yeah,
amount as a youth. Because what are we doing if not just catching really fast errant passes, right?
yeah. I
And
also
then,
think it also
yeah.
you also helped with stick skill wise. Like I was always in my backyard shooting on the wall, and like helped me clearing in that aspect that I had was from a young age. I was able to play with both hands as a goalie.
Oh yeah, nice. And then
So
you mentioned like I know what attackmen are trying to do. So you then as a goalie kind of realized like, oh, like the attackman's going to shoot in this location based on kind of what they're doing, like that type of thing.
yeah, exactly. Like not guessing, but just tendencies. I felt like, I mean, like even, and I even see it now. Like you can even, I like, I love film and I watch a lot of film, and I
Yeah.
think of it as an attack and like crease dives. That was the biggest thing coming from high school to college. Like their crease gapping, I most of the time I see and I kind of know they're going off stick or far away, and
Yeah.
just stuff like that that like you learn as thinking from an attack, and like honestly like from just playing and shooting. Sometimes you just I feel like I've learned so much from that. Like even going to my backyard still, like even before practice, I'll shoot with some of the guys just with a stick and just like think about it from a different aspect.
Yeah. Yeah, I think back I did a couple runs of MIDI just like in a summer league. And when I played like whenever somebody like when they were up top and they swept down the alley, like let's say they swept to the right, they always shot low and away. They always like pulled it
Hmm.
across their body and shot it low and away. And then I was doing a run of MIDI and I did that. I dodged down the alley. I just shot it sort of not even like thinking about it and shot it low and away and the goalie saved it. And I was just like, man, what? That's crazy. I just shot it right there.
Yeah, no, it and that's like what I had, and I even like I said, I see to this day like stuff that just by going out and just shooting, you see correlates to when you're getting shot at.
Right. Right. So how'd you go about then learning, how to make saves as a youth? Did you get some lessons? I mean, you're
So
from Long Island, right? So I imagine there's
yeah,
some good coaching
so
out there.
I was my coach that got me into playing. His daughter played goalie, and so I would always get to have lessons with like I would go. I was like very good friends with his son, so and I knew her really well, so I'd get to go to lessons with her. And then one of the high school goalies at the time started teaching me like the basics of stepping to the ball and all that stuff. And I never really played travel, so it was mostly that. And then um, I worked with him for a while, and then my high school coach, one of actually, he was on the podcast, Chris Gill. He taught me some stuff. He was a teacher at my high school, so I learned like more higher level stuff from him. And then yeah, that's pretty much it. I did a lot on my own, a lot of videos, but not too much coaching in that sense.
Shout out Chris Gill, the Crease Beast.
Yeah, yep,
Yeah, that guy's the man. Yeah, I love
yes,
that
he
guy.
is.
That's awesome. And
So
then did you when you were learning, like, did they teach you like to step at the 45? And like how do you do that now? Are you more lateral with
yeah,
the
so
steps?
now I'm a lateral. I do a lot of lateral steps. At the time, I was learning to step at the ball, attack the ball. Now
Yeah.
I'm not the tallest guy, so I do a lot more lateral and like obviously trying to stay big, but I'm let's say 90% lateral.
Yeah. I'm also not the
So
tallest guy, but what do you think the lateral step, how does that benefit you as a shorter goalie?
I just think I personally I think I get to the ball and I can stay bigger lateral, stepping lateral than attacking the ball. If that makes any sense. I don't know if that's like the actual reason, but that's what I tell myself, and it's worked for me. So
Yeah.
I I switched in high school to doing the lateral and started getting like I feel like it kind of a new thing in the game. I feel like everyone used to, at least I learned always to attack the ball, step to the ball. And it started becoming pretty popular, the whole lateral step, and I like it personally.
Same. Yeah, same. That's how I played. That's how I even coached for so many
Hmm.
years. And then like just, the shots are coming in so fast and there's just actually a
Yeah.
lot of like when you try to like step forward at the ball, I think it ends up creating a lot of bad habits.
Yes.
Lack of patience. A lot of times you see like the goalies sort of falling forward, but if you could stay back and just move lateral and get in front of it, I think that's the way to do it these days.
100%. I agree.
Yeah. Very cool. So what's your favorite part about being the goalie?
Um, that you can make like when a goalie's having a good game, it changes the game for their team, and that's like especially in college. Like if you have a good game, you can be the difference between an upset win. So I think that's like getting a big win, and especially when you have a great game, there's no better feeling than that. Like that you really, obviously you can't be scoring, but you can definitely change the score of a game in the sense that you can play a great game and not let them score.
Totally, right? Yeah, that's such a good feeling. Um, I wish I had it more in my career, but I had it a few times, and I remember just having just phenomenal games, making a ton of saves, seeing the ball really well, just being in that zone, and you know, like you said, a great attackman can kind of shut them down with the double team, but a great goalie like can take over the game.
Exactly.
Um, have you had games? Have you had a lot of games like that in your college career where you felt like you've just taken over?
Yeah, I mean, obviously not every game is that, but I've had a couple. I tend to lead to not lead. I tend to like seize the opportunity of like a big game. We play Salve Regina, which is like they're in Newport, Rhode Island, and that's like our big rivalry game. That was actually my first college game, and I just went off and had a great game. I was seeing the ball like very well. I had a little issue at the end and went to overtime, and then I played phenomenal in overtime. I had like 4 or 5 saves in overtime, and we ended up winning for the first time. And like that was definitely one of the highest in my career. But like games like that, when you're just seeing the ball and playing in like big moments, and I had a couple other ones, but that's definitely like the one that stuck with me and still like motivates me. Like those big games, playoff games, rivalry games, conference games, all that stuff.
Yeah. 4 or 5 saves in overtime. That is a
Yes.
lot long. In just one overtime, or we get double
Just one
overtime?
overtime. They
Overtime.
won
All
the
right.
face off.
Yeah.
They got it was I think it was four rebound saves.
Okay.
Didn't
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
any in the
Yeah.
stick. And then we finally got it out of there and we scored and I was very happy it was over.
That's
But
awesome.
it was a great feeling after. In the moment, I think it took a couple years off my life, but once it was over, it was the best feeling in the world, especially like having an impact like that. And I think that's why anyone would want to play the position.
Yeah. What are your tips for the young goalies going into an overtime game? Because that can be a lot of pressure.
Don't think it's overtime. I tell myself it's not overtime. I don't even look like once I like just don't even tell myself that I it's not sudden death. It's none of that. I'm just gotta go save the ball. And like if I don't save the ball, I don't save the ball. But I feel if I put pressure on myself that, if it goes in, it goes in. I'm getting in my head too much and I'm not focusing on saving the ball. Because in the beginning of the game, you're not worried about the game being over if you let it one in. So why
Mhm.
change that? Like you should still be playing the same way you played in the beginning of the game, especially if
Yeah.
you're playing good. So I don't think of that as even a factor. Like that doesn't even cross my mind. And
Yeah.
it's hard to do, but if you can train yourself to do it, it will make it a lot easier.
Yeah. I've always found that, I mean, for me personally, like, yeah, overtime wasn't that much of I didn't feel the pressure because you're playing 4 quarters of lacrosse. And by that time, like,
Exactly.
you're pretty much in the flow. And so a lot of times I feel like when goalies ask that question, it's like right now, like where you're just thinking about overtime, and that might actually get you a little bit nervous. But to your
Hmm.
point, like, don't treat it any different. Like,
You
just go
can't.
out there and play, right? Focus on the game.
100%. a
Yeah.
100%.
And then make 4 saves, ideally.
Yeah.
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 Cool. So, and then, I mean, in high school, then do you start to think about playing college lacrosse and kind of talk me through your
Yeah. So
recruiting journey?
I was fortunate that like my school was pretty small in Long Island. You can get pulled up to play in high school and from middle school. So I started in seventh grade. Like didn't start playing. I was able to get pulled up in seventh grade. Played JV and varsity. I'd switch on and off. And then COVID happened. And at that time, I was like set on playing in college. And then COVID happened. And I didn't play club or anything. And like that was my first year that I was gonna have the position to be able to start and everything. And it kind of made my recruiting journey a little like strange in that sense. And then I committed to Limestone in my senior year in November, pretty late. And then so after COVID, I didn't think I was going to be able to get recruited. I was having a hard time. Like I wasn't getting the looks I wanted. Um, I didn't have a ton of film because I didn't play travel.
Mhm.
So I and we had a very short. My junior year was only 7 games, so it was super short. I played great my junior year, and I would send all my film to all these coaches. But the problem was a lot of these coaches already got their guys, so I I did it all off my high school film, and once like I got back into it because it was a weird like my first year I didn't get to play lacrosse, so it felt like almost like I lost didn't lose the love for the game, but it just didn't feel like spring comes and you're not playing.
Mhm.
So I like was like, all right, maybe it's not going to happen. Maybe I should go. I can put a club somewhere, do this, that, and the other thing. But once it came back around my junior year and it was in the season, I was like, I can't give it up. I can't like settle for ending my career next year. So I committed to Limestone, I went there for a semester, and I definitely knew it wasn't the right place for me. It was awesome lacrosse wise, um, but I ended up deciding to transfer, which is the best thing I did. So mid semester, I went into the portal, and I got much better looks than I did um, getting recruited out of high school.
Mm.
And I took a semester off. So I coached at a local high school from on Long Island, and um, I wasn't like I wanted to make sure I made the right decision. So I didn't want to commit to it, like transferring to a school mid year. So I ended up going to taking the semester off, like I said, and I redshirted at Limestone, and then I decided to come to Roger Williams, where I'm at now. Um, so technically, I'm like a redshirt junior, but I got one more year to play, but 2 more years.
Hmm.
But yeah, so that's kind of how I got to where I am now.
Yeah,
So a
love it.
little different than most, but
Yeah.
everything
Yeah.
works out.
A lot of goalies ask me if you can get recruited, if you have to play club to get recruited. And it sounds like the answer is like, no, you don't. I mean, obviously, you've got your path, you did it, but maybe it might be easier to get the looks when you're playing club. What's your take on it?
I think it's definitely easier. I will say though, I had COVID too, so I think club would have helped me if COVID was if since COVID happened. But
Yeah.
I think like if you have good film and you're playing high school, they're gonna find you.
Yeah.
Like especially if you're playing like I also will credit Long Island. Like if you say I said I'm from Long Island, I think that also helped me a little because I obviously the competition is great down there. But
Right.
I mean, if you have good film, I think any coach will find you.
Gotcha. What high school did you go to?
North Shore, small high school.
Okay.
They only had my varsity team had 18 kids on it.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, very small high school.
Yeah.
But we got to play some good schools, Manhasset, Cold Spring Harbor,
Yeah.
some good some good competition, which also I credit to my success getting to see great shooters and playing against really good opponents at such a young age too.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not that many guys. Sounds like your team had to be in really good shape, huh?
Yes, a lot of running, a lot of four stops.
Yeah. I love it. We didn't have that many we didn't have that big of a team like my senior year, my club when I played club at Cal, and like we played some of these teams like BYU that had like just tremendous like huge rosters, and we'd be playing and playing long possession, and like back in that day when the ball went out of bounds on the sideline there was a horn where like you could like pause the game and like sub, and they would just send three new long poles on, where like just three fresh legs, and it helps to have numbers. But yeah, you got to be in shape.
Oh yeah, yeah. Everyone's in
Um,
shape.
yeah. Well, cool. So now you're at Roger Williams, and I mean, talk to me about kind of your experience there, and kind of getting to play in some games and earning the starting role.
Yeah, so I came in the original starter, started as a freshman. So I came in and I knew like I was gonna have to compete, but um, we were very even, and like if I had a not I had a it's like took a year almost off. It was a little tough getting back into my routine from during the fall,
Hmm.
um, and that was my biggest challenge. But once I got my routine back and like got back in the swing of things, I starting to be able to compete. But during that time when I was home, I didn't have that many people to shoot on me because everyone was in college playing. So I like focused on a lot of stick work. Like literally would hit the wall every single day. And I was like, you know what? There's one thing you can do by yourself and make sure your clearing game is um, the best it can be. And so the goalie that I was competing for the job with was probably equal to me, maybe even a little better at stopping the ball. But um, basically, we were struggling clearing. And the first game we played Babson, which was a ranked team, and they were just getting ride back after ride back after ride back. So my coach put me in the fourth, and I made a couple big saves and was able to get the ball out. and that's kind of how I got the job. And I credit most of that to being able to clear the ball like flawlessly, like being able to switch hands. And I tell every goalie like if you can clear the ball, it gives you an edge over any goalie. Like when I train goalies in the summer and stuff like that, I'm like, you can go hit the wall by yourself. You can. That's all stuff you can do by yourself. You don't have to worry about getting hit with the ball when you're getting shots or anything. It's the easiest way to practice position and something that a lot of goalies don't think about. But it, from a college coach's aspect, I mean, my coach talks about it all the time. It's one of the most important parts of the game. And as a goalie, you're the one that's leading clear, so you got to be proficient at it.
Yeah, I
So,
100% agree with that. It's like it's also, I mean, it also can, a great save to a clear to a fast break can like totally switch the
mm-hmm,
momentum of a game.
exactly.
And even it's the other way around too, where like you make a save and then you botch the clear, throw it away. It can really give the momentum back to the other team, especially if you got 18 guys on your team, right? Like,
Yeah,
uh,
yeah,
you got low numbers, and now all of a sudden, like,
yeah.
they got to play another 2 to 3 minutes of
Mm-hmm.
defense. Yeah, so clearing super important. What if you're coaching kids to improve their clearing game, what is it? Just wall ball, or is there something, some other drills that you
I
like to do?
I would do wall ball. That's what I used to do. I used to put like take tape and make a stick on the wall and just practice. Like instead of having a box, I would literally like draw like a person, a stick figure in tape with a stick, and just practice hitting the stick, hitting the stick, hitting the stick. Do it with both hands. Do it on the run. Do it for my knees. I always when I warm up and pass like with long toss, I do it for my knees to start off
Mm.
with, and that just I feel like gets my like upper body loose and like once I start like the crow hop or like on the run, it just comes out of my stick much easier and I have a lot more power. Um, and then I sometimes like I would take a bucket or a garbage can and practice throwing it into that. Or I have my like wall that I go to. It has a wall like two walls, like one here and one here. If that makes any sense. So I like will throw to one and then switch hands and throw the opposite way to the other. Almost like
Mm.
if you're like on the back line and you're like throwing to your defenseman back and forth, and then you see an attackman or a midi breaking up field. So that's how I always practice. And then I do it just a bunch of stuff like behind the backs just to like get comfortable with your stick.
Yeah. Well, so it's kind of like a racquetball court where there's like one wall here, one wall on the side, and you throw to that one, you
Yeah.
catch and throw to that one. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And then so you're an
So
advocate of playing with both hands, huh?
yeah, well, on the clear, I play like I'm a
Well,
righty,
yeah.
but
Yeah,
on
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
clear,
Right.
yeah, I will clear with both hands. And I definitely think it helps because, especially if there's not film now, it's a little different because everything is able to be seen prior to the game.
Yeah.
But like, you'll catch a lot of attackmen off guard, and even coaches like when you switch hands and you're able to run the ball and put it in your left hand and throw a pass on the run because like especially if you're like on the sideline and the tagman's coming at you and they just think they're going to push you right out or check you because you're not going to be able to switch hands and you can roll back to your left hand.
Mm.
And now they're like confused what's going on because they never see a goalie do that.
Right.
You got a big advantage.
Yeah. I guess I'm more Canadian in my clearing game. I keep it in my strong hand. And I know a lot of coaches say like train both hands and I could see the benefit there, but I always like to just get that righty dialed in, right? And then if you want to do lefty, go for it. But that's just my
Yeah,
personal approach. The other thing that probably helps your clearing game is those years of attack, because I imagine I,
100%.
I imagine you got a few dodges up your sleeve, huh?
Yeah. So yeah, um, I don't do it as much anymore, but in high school, yeah, I like to run the ball up and be a little aggressive with it. But yes, the dodges and just I feel a lot of attackmen do not like riding. So if you can run past them, they're either going to hack you and you're going to get a free possession or
Yeah,
they're going to give up.
totally. Yeah,
So,
they don't. play good defense. And so
They don't.
I always got them with the face dodge where like you have the ball
Hmm.
out here, your big stick, and then you go like you're going to throw a pass and just bring it across. And so many times they just like jump or they go for that home run check and just
And then they hit you in the helmet, and then you got a free
airball or hit you in the
possession.
helmet and you get a penalty, right?
Hmm.
Yeah. Um, cool. What would you say you're working on in your goalie game right now?
Um, Probably, I would say stopping, um, like 5-and-5 shots, question marks, that kind of stuff. That's like my weakness. I'm very good outside, like bounce shot, outside shooter, but when it comes to like question marks and stuff, um, I need to get a little more proficient at it, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
But there's always something you can work on, and it also changes. Like, I mean, last week I wasn't saving the ball off stick low very well, and the week before that I was saving everything on the ground. So I feel like it changes per week, and I always like to write down on my phone like what I did good at that practice and what I did or that week, what I did bad, and like obviously all our practices are filmed. So, and I look at it before I go into that practice, and I like have it in the back of my head. So I'm like, like I'm gonna make sure, especially when I'm getting warmed up, I'm like when it comes to getting low shots, like I'm gonna step overemphasize a step or so then you're thinking about it. Or if you see something on film, like, oh, I was dropping my hands, I read it before I practice and I have it in the back of my head so I don't forget about it.
Hmm. Yeah, kind of like going into that practice with sort of a point of emphasis, right?
100%.
Yeah, I think that even I said practice, but that also works with like a training session. If you can kind of go in and you have your kind of 3 points of emphasis of things that I'm going to work on or I'm going to improve, like that training session is going to be a lot more valuable than just going out there and doing the same thing, but not having those points of emphasis, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. I agree.
What are some of the things you've written down as like you mentioned? I write it on my phone things that I've done well. I'm just curious.
So, done well, like, I've not really done well. I mean, like, I, I'll sometimes be like, all right, today I didn't drop my hand. It's more mental note, but things I've done like bad, like this week, I watched the film from like our week 3 practices, and like I was dropping my hand on inside shot, dropping my hands on inside shots,
Yeah.
and just stuff like that, like habits that like you're not going to notice, but you'll see on the film, that sort of thing. But the like when I and then I go back and I like will look at my notes and be like, all right, this week I didn't do that, like so, and I cross it off the list
Yeah.
and
Oh,
hope to
that's
not put it
cool.
back on there.
Yeah.
Dropping the hands has come back on it a couple times, but um, the goal is for it not to come back on it.
Right. Oh,
But
yeah, that one could come and go, huh?
yeah,
How do you overcome that? Is it just, in your opinion, is it just a mental thing where like I'm not going to do it, or is there
I
yeah.
that one always gets me. I generally think it's like depending on the day sometimes. Like I don't know, like some days I'm just dropping my hands, but some days I can make saves and drop my hands. I don't know. I do one drill um where I sit in the goal and I pick a shooter that I know is not going to hit me and I just have him shoot the ball around me and I just work on not even moving.
Yeah,
And
that's
I
good.
just literally just stay there and just let the ball go around me. And that sometimes gets me like I do it at practice a lot. Like I'll pull one of the shooters out if we're doing like 6-on-6. I'll be like, I'll go against the fence or something. You can also do it behind a fence or a net, and you just have them shoot at you and you just don't move. Because
Right.
I do like a flinch drop, like I like here and then I come back up. If that makes any sense. Like it's a little
Right.
like I come in. So that's something I do, and sometimes like my coach will be like, "Oh, you're dropping your hands," and then I'll know like, all right, that's my cue to just take a minute and see a couple shots around me or go behind the backstop or whatever and just have someone shoot on me and then I go back in.
Yeah. I think that's a great drill
Yeah.
for all goalies, but especially
Yeah.
when you're learning the youth, because yeah, like the very
Hmm.
first thing that you got to train out of your system is just that flinch movement.
Yeah.
That's so natural for all humans
Hmm.
because there's like this.
I mean, I still do it sometimes too. Like
There you go.
it sucks getting hit with the ball. I mean, especially when it's cold and stuff. Like it's
Yeah.
your body doesn't want you to get hit with the ball. It's a hard thing to like tell yourself to be like, yeah, today I'm gonna get hit with the ball. But it happens. I mean, it's never on purpose. Like deep down inside, you don't actually want it, but it's hard to tell your body to. But sometimes you just gotta like clear your mind and just I think of it as a reset, see it,
Y-
be like, all right,
Right.
it's coming at me, nothing's gonna happen, and just go back in there. And I think once you make a save, it all. I think when I get like not flinching, I don't consider it scared of the ball. I call it just flinching from the ball.
Hmm.
Happens when I'm not making saves and I'm in my head. And sometimes I just need to like clear my head and make that save, and then like my flinching goes away.
Yeah. Yeah. Kind of get in the flow of it.
Yeah,
Now, do you, uh, there's a lot of goalies that do this like sort of hop to like get in their stance. You know what I'm talking about? Do you do
yeah.
that?
So I actually started doing that this year, especially like if I'm on a pipe and I'm coming across the crease. I do a quick hop, like almost to me, it's like a set to tell my brain, like, all right, like I'm gonna get the shots coming, like it's get ready, like it's
Right.
you know what I'm saying, if that makes any sense. I saw online that like I saw a video that like other sports they do it to make you more reactive. I've always kind of done it like I do a little more now. I don't know why. I just started doing it a little more. All the goalies on my team started doing it for some reason, but it's more of like just like I think of it as just like tell my brain like all right, like it's shots coming, like get yourself together and get ready to make the save.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a huge fan too. You might have been I posted a video on it like talking about different sports, especially
It may
ones
have
that
been from you.
yeah, it might have been
It
for me,
probably was from
especially ones
you.
that I grew up playing because I didn't play
Mhm.
lacrosse as a kid. I played baseball and I played tennis where like that is the move. So I just think it has so many benefits and some goalies don't do it and some goalie coaches don't even like it. And you know, that's fine with me, but I just think it has a lot of physical benefits. One, like when you're moving, right? Because it's very like if I take a step, it's very hard to like get my weight balanced 50-50, right? How can I do it? But if you do that little hop, like you, there's no, it's very hard not to land in a very balanced position if you're doing it right.
Yeah.
So I'm a huge fan. But
And you're not, it makes you in an athletic position, especially like when you're just the ball's just going around the arc, and then all of a sudden there's a feed across the field, and like either he's catching it and going to shoot it or he's missing it. So like it almost like I think it like tells my brain like when I do that quick movement, like all right, get ready. You know what I'm saying? To
right, right.
just watching the ball go around, and then all of a sudden, we're playing sort of deal.
Yeah, and like you said, it could be that mental trigger of like, all right,
Yeah.
I'm communicating, I'm moving on. Okay, now lock in on the shot.
Yeah, like now it's done communicating. I
Right.
get my check call, and I'm worried about saving the ball, and all that other stuff is the defense problem. And I'm just like, I'm doing my job now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I love it.
So that's how I think of it.
Earlier you said, you know, once I got sort of back into my routine, took some time off, get back into my routine. I kind of got back into the flow. Like, what? How would you like describe that routine? What is that routine?
So I have like a bunch of different routines that I do like before games. I think like routine is like the best way to like train uh consistency. But like the routine of like, you know, getting warmed up, getting shots, and then like after practice, like getting a couple shots or breaking down that film that you watched, or just getting used to like what a college practice is like compared to like going out and getting shots from your buddy, and like live shots in a game, that like a game, like drills and stuff. That was like that sort of thing. And then like almost the routine of recovery, in the sense that like you have a practice, you get banged up, like just getting your body used to playing goalie, because goalie's like a physical position. I mean, you're getting hit with the ball. So it was a bunch of different things, but like once like it took 2 or 3 weeks, and then I felt like I got it back and just got into the mindset like, like if we're practicing twice a week, getting that extra day to get shots
Hmm.
and just that kind of stuff, compared to like when I wasn't playing, I could get 2 shots this week and then take 2 weeks off, in that sense. And then
Yeah.
also like what I do before practice and games, like I'm a big like I have a whole routine before games. I jump rope. I mean, the night before I do a little like I'll juggle, watch some film. I don't watch too much film on opponents, but I watch it on myself. And then that morning I got to get breakfast. Before I walk out, I once we get to like the field or whatever, if we have a away game, I stretch out, roll out, and immediately jump rope and juggle. Wait like a little while, and then once I go out, I do a lot of I never get warmed up first. I always warm up with a short stick and a wood shaft. It's a little heavier, and I have a dot on the head of the short stick, like a Sharpie, and I aim for that dot. Um, and I get my warm up, and then I usually do my own thing. I have a weighted shaft that I walk the line with. I use resistance bands. And then I just watch the ball. Like I'll watch like when they're doing line drills or something. I'll just watch the ball on the other side of the field, um, and I just get used to seeing the ball. And then like kind of like a superstition of mine is I have a big superstitious goalie. Like if I play good, I wear the same socks again.
Nice.
Just some weird things, but um, once I make my first saves and live drills, I'm done until the game. So something like that. But I would do everything the exact same way before every game. Like I do the same. I do the resistance bands for a minute. I do walk the line for 2 minutes. I do all that the same because I think you got to like train your brain to know that like when you're doing like this is my I don't know if this is act like true like actually, but to me it makes sense that when I do all this, and I'll never do any of this unless I'm playing a game like my whole resistance band, but it like tells myself like I'm getting ready to go to into a game or go to war, and I tell myself like
Right.
something cringy like that, but I just gets myself ready to go, and I know like it's the real deal, and I'm like going against another opponent.
Right. Yeah. Well, it totally makes sense to have those routines because it's like you don't have to think about how I'm going to get ready. It's kind of
Yeah.
like, I've got my a morning routine and everything's planned out. I don't have to think about like, all right, what am I going to wear? And like use all this mental energy on things that
Hmm.
you don't need it, and you're preparing yourself to play.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Yes.
I was going to ask a question about that. I didn't understand the dot on the shaft. So it's just a dot
So
on the
yeah,
shaft.
no, it's dot on the head on the mesh. So
Got it on
basically,
the
I have like a
mesh.
little red dot on the mesh, and that's where I aim to. I use a short stick that's super pinched the head
Yeah.
and has like no pocket, and then a wooden shaft, so it's a little heavier. And
Yeah.
like there's a little dot on the mesh, and that's where I aim for the ball.
Just
But I do like,
pinpointing, getting that accuracy
yeah,
going. Yeah,
mm-hmm,
yeah, I love that. And then the weight is awesome too because once you
the
get
best thing.
when you get that goalie stick back in your hand, it feels like three times as big, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
then and then two times as light because now you're used to that weighted, so that's
And
cool.
what I do is I don't have a head on the shaft. It's just a weighted shaft, like one of those. It's like yellow power shafts. I'm sure you've seen them.
Yeah,
And I walk the line with that, and I do my low saves like that. But I always make sure I hit the ground with the tip of the shaft. So when I take out my regular stick, I'm already going like over, like going to like because you have the head length now. So you're just, I feel as if I get low shots, I'm just trapping the ball every time.
yeah,
So that, and then I use resistance bands around my legs, and my legs feel like I always feel it in that first save of the game. I feel so loose. Um, and like I can even like I'll do that during halftime, a timeout if I feel like I'm just like not loose or I'm needing a little reset. I'll throw the resistance band on my leg and pick up the shaft, walk the line, three high, three low, beat three hips,
nice.
and then go back. And it takes 2 seconds. I feel like I just got a full warm up.
Yeah, that's smart. That's smart. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then I love the juggling and the jump rope too. Get the
Yeah.
hands and the eyes going and the feet
Mm-hmm.
going. And I'm a huge jump rope
Yep.
guy. Very cool. Awesome. What about oh, I know what I was gonna ask. You said you watch a lot of tape too on yourself and like including practices. Like what does that look like? Are you like watching the entire 2 hour practice or was there like,
No.
oh, this drill I
So
want to check out?
yeah. So I'll go like I don't believe in watching other shooters. I'll watch like with the team when we watch film. I'll watch them because I think and my coach even says it all the time like they don't know where they're shooting. Don't think about he scored 3 goals top right in the game. But
Yeah.
I'll but yourself is a different story. Like I'll be like all right, I wasn't getting over here enough, and that goes back to the notes thing. Like I'll watch my film and take my notes on my film um, of myself, and I don't watch like I mean, not that I don't watch what the team is doing, but like besides the clear, everything else is just watching myself.
Got it.
Um, and then another thing, like on film, is, and this sounds like weird, but I've actually heard of a bunch of other goalies that do this, is watch my own highlights before games and when
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
playing
yeah.
bad. And
Yeah.
I don't know why it works like I'll have a bad practice, and the next morning when we have practice, I'll sit in my car before practice because I don't want anyone watching me do this because I feel like it's like, yeah, you're watching your own film highlights. But I'll watch my high school highlights and like have the music pumping, and for some reason it like tells my mind that like, oh, I'm able to do this. Or I'll even watch like I'll go back to like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, um, and I'll watch a game I played really good in, and like
Nice.
hear like see the sideline go crazy when I make a save, hear the crowd, and sometimes that stuff can like be like, all right, this is why I do it. Like I don't believe that you can lose your skill. Like I just think you have a bad day. So that's what my
Right.
method is, and I tell myself like, look, I was able to do this last year. I was able to do this last week. I was able to do this yesterday. Whatever. Why can't I do it now? And that kind of just tells myself like, you're able to do it. You're in your head. Just save the ball.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, I recommend that a tremendous amount. Watching your own highlights. It's
Yeah,
great too when you get in a slump because a lot
100%.
of
It's the best
times,
thing.
like you said, it's not, maybe there is something physical going on, but most of it's mental. And, it's just kind of that confidence of knowing that you can save the ball and getting that
Hmm.
feeling back. And watching your own highlights can do that. And
Yeah.
it doesn't even have to be your own highlights, actually. Like
I
I've,
watch goalie compilations all the time too.
yeah. Right, I make them, and like after I
Yeah.
watch them, I'm like, man, that pumped me up so much. I feel like playing. Let's
Hmm.
go. Like just give me that motivation. So yeah,
Yeah.
watching your highlights is great. Anything else on the mental game that you do to sort of stay confident?
I would say the biggest thing mentally, like I said, is watching like I'll watch goalie save compilations. Probably like I think I actually watched one of the ones you've made. I watched a couple other ones. Um, just like random ones that have a good song to them. And honestly, it's mostly the song. If it's a good song that like hypes me up, and then I see the saves, I'm like, all right, this will get. If I get like, sometimes they'll come up on like Instagram or TikTok, and I'll be like, all right, this kind of got me in the mood to play, and I'll save it and then watch it when I'm like in a slump or before a game. And then like I'm probably the worst mental goalie, but like I've learned a lot is just you have to have fun and like you're never going to be a good goalie if you're in your head. So I just tell myself like if you want to save the ball, stop worrying about it and just play the game. Sort of like the overtime thing. Like in high school, I was a mess in overtime. Like my last high school ever game, we lost in overtime because I almost told myself I wasn't going to save the ball because I was so nervous. I was like, "What am I like? It's gonna be my last game." Like I'm like, I remember it. And my second fun fact: the kid that scored me in high school plays at school Salve Regina, and I saved a shot in overtime. But that's for another. But long story short is I was like thinking about all the like ifs. If I let this in, we're done. If like my last high school game, and I was not even worried about saving the ball. I was just thinking about it too much. And it happened before, and when I'm like, I even see it like if I tell myself, oh, like I don't want to, like not that I don't want to see the ball, but like just if like this happens, we like
Right.
when we do drills that are competitive, oh, we have to run. And then I'm like, oh, the ball's in the back of the net. I was telling myself like too many ifs. So now my biggest thing is I tell myself I'm going to save the ball. And honestly, like sometimes it'll just be like, sometimes like me and my roommates, like we always compete with each other at practice. And I'll be like, oh, I'm not letting him score on me today. And I'm just like thinking about, it. I was like, oh, I cannot let him score. I'm going to hear it for the rest of the night. If we have a Friday practice or Saturday practice and we're scrimmaging and he scores on me. And I'm like, all right, this is not happening. And then I just make the save because I told myself, like, I didn't even think about the ball going in. I just thought about me making the save. And I don't know if it correlates to anything, but that's how I think of it. And
Right.
it's sometimes hard to do, but I just think about like only making the save. I don't think about anything else. I don't think about the score. Like I won't look at the scoreboard. I do look at like I count my saves and think about how many saves I made, but I never think about how many goals I let in. I just think about all the positives. How many saves till I can get to this number. Like I always said it, like let's say I'm at 5 saves. I'm like, all right, 5 more shots and I can get to 10 saves.
Hmm.
So that means I have to make 10. It's like almost like because I'm just thinking about I'm always thinking about it, but instead of like thinking negative, I change it to think positive.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's the right way to do it, but it's worked for me. Sometimes it messes with me a little, but I've learned how to like counteract it. I translate it all to positiveness.
Yeah. It's interesting because I definitely think that could not work for some goalies. But if it works for you,
Yeah.
great. But like I never
I don't
counted.
coach any kids on this.
Yeah,
Like this
I
is
don't count
like,
my saves, and I don't recommend goalies do.
yeah.
But if it does work for you, great. But yeah, I
Yeah, like
always like to
I
just
had a kid that asked
help.
me like what I did, and I was like,
Yeah,
I can't tell you because it probably won't work for you. But yeah. And it's not like counting my saves like that. Like I probably said it the wrong way. It's more like to motivate me, like I
just
don't know, just
focus on making the save.
like I just got to give everything I got for the next save. Or
Right.
even doing it in a drill, I'm like, I have one drill. I have, there's six of the goalies or five of the goalies, so I got to wait five of the goalies. So like, I'm gonna have to think about letting the goal in if I don't save it. So like, make this save for this one drill. Like you have 1 minute, a 1 minute rep. Like give it everything you got. So
Yeah.
I kind of said it the wrong way, but like not the wrong way if that makes any sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, no, not probably not the best way as a young goalie to think about it. But I don't
Yeah.
know.
Talk to me about so you guys are in fall ball right now.
Yeah.
I mean, talk to me about the upcoming season.
So yeah, this year we play in a really competitive conference, which is great because we get to see a lot of good opponents. We play Babson, MIT, uh, um, Endicott, Western New England, Hartford, some good schools. This year we get to play some um, different schools, but we're looking pretty good. We have a great defense unit, all returners. Um, so this year, like I've got to the point where it's worrying about like going into like fall. I focused on just working, and this is like for like a young goalie that's going into their first year of college. Like I think fall is the best time for you to work on. Like at least my coach isn't picking his starting goalie in the fall, but I can use fall to try something new. Like this year, I was working on um, like the jump step we talked about, something that I want to implement to like when we scrimmage and stuff that I would never implement in the spring because I wouldn't want to change my game in the spring. The
Right.
fall is a great time to add something in your game, see how it works in live action. A great time to practice switching hands in the clear. Like
Right.
that's how. But this upcoming season, I mean, like we got a good year to compete. We got a great defense, so yeah, we play a great conference, a lot of competition. Um, so yeah,
Awesome. Well, good luck in the upcoming season.
thank
We'll be
you.
watching you out there. I was going to ask, maybe you don't quite have enough perspective, but Limestone's D2, right?
Yes,
And
well,
that
was
was they closed down.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I guess my question is, differences between D2 and D3. Did it,
So yeah, this was a big, big one for me. So like Limestone is a great. They were. I mean, lacrosse was probably one of the best levels of lacrosse I ever seen. Um, First thing off is the size. I mean, there was 80 guys on the team at Limestone. There was a big goalie room. That was a challenge in itself for me personally. Um, so I went from a team of 87 guys to a team of 50 guys. So that was one of the
those
biggest
guys?
changes.
Yeah.
Um, and then facilities and like what we get, like not we don't lift, we don't have like a lift coach or anything like that. Since it's D2 to D2, you can lift. You have 20-hour weeks. We only get 22 practices the whole year, whole
Mm,
fall.
yeah.
Um, so that was different. Equipment wise, you don't get all the equipment handed to you. We don't travel as far. Um, but at the end of the day, in the spring, it's the speed is different. Actually, like you say that the speed's a little different. But at the end of the day, in the spring, I mean, I wasn't there in the spring, but I think it's the same everywhere. I mean,
Hmm.
my roommate transferred. He's playing D3 now, and he says the same thing. He said, and he was there for a whole year, and he's like, in the spring is really the same. And you're practicing every day. Everyone wants to be there. It's
Yeah.
super competitive. But I think D3 was the. I'm happy with D3 because, I mean, I'm able to do a lot of stuff in the fall that I wasn't able to do if I was playing D2 and having to play the game every single day and
Yeah.
practice a lot. And honestly, I think some people could get burnt out that way too. I mean, having to practice every single day in the fall, and then coming back in the spring. I mean, I get to do a lot of stuff. Like, I'm fortunate that my school's in the water, so I get to go fishing and surfing all the time in the fall because I got a lot of free time. I get to do a lot of extracurriculars, clubs, and all that stuff to take my mind off lacrosse. And then when it comes to lacrosse in the fall, it's like the best thing because we don't get to play every day. Like practice is awesome because we only get to play practice twice to 3 times a week for
Hmm.
2 months. So like you get to practice and like it's like the best thing because it's not like it's like every single day. So
Right.
I think that was the cool thing about D3 compared to D2. But I mean, I enjoyed both of them from a lacrosse aspect. Like I thought it was great at both spots. So I think D3 I'm happy with now, but either one I think it would have been a cool opportunity, and I'm just happy I got to experience both.
Very cool.
So
What about the stick? What about the stick setup? What do you go with?
so I go with an Eclipse 2. I've always used it, and I use a String King Mark. It's a shaft that it's the same shaft they have for the like their starter stick. It's like insanely light. It breaks all the time, but I'm very superstitious and I've used it forever and I won't
Yeah.
change it. And I also I used to tape the whole entire shaft and I started being like, oh, it's too heavy, and it took everything out of me to change it. But now I only tape just the top and the middle, and it's like the lightest thing possible. And I just switched over. I used to use String King Grizzly 1, and I would always string myself. That's one thing I tell all young goalies. The best thing you can do is learn how to string your own stick. Because,
Hmm.
there's plenty of times a stick has snapped during a game, and I would have had to get it taken out if I had to, wasn't, I had to practice throwing with another stick or anything, compared when I could just fix my stick 2 seconds and I'm back in the game. So, young goalies learn how to string their own sticks. But I used to use Grizzly 1S. Now I use the East Coast Eyes um, mesh. I don't know the name of it, and
The
I've liked it. Yeah, Hero. Oh no,
Hero's the old one. The East Coast Eyes is the impact mesh.
the Impact.
Yeah.
I will say, rebound wise, it is phenomenal, and it doesn't rip. I recommend it. All the goalies on my team are using it now because it just absorbs the ball.
I was gonna say I grabbed this one because I have the String King. This is the composite two, but they make it in 135 grams, so it's like you pick the under eight.
I use the aluminum one.
Oh, do you use the aluminum one? Yeah,
Yeah, which like
the metal three is that what it
I
is? Or
think yeah, it's the
yeah,
lightest metal three they make,
yeah, I have that one
but
too. But yeah, but the point
I
is
love
like
that one.
pick the 135 grams, the lightest one. It says for under eights, but it works for college
It
goalies.
works. I mean, I used it in college and
Yeah.
I broke it once, but I mean, I used it for 2 years prior to that, and it broke on the bottom where I tapped the pipe. So,
Oh, right.
um,
Yeah.
I you can use it, and it's probably the lightest thing you can get. So,
Right.
I recommend it.
Awesome. Well, Aaron, thanks for coming on the show. Did we
Thank
get
you for
it? Did we
having
get
me.
it all? Any stories we missed
I
out
think
on?
I think we got pretty much all of it.
All
Thank
right.
you for having me.
Absolutely. If you had to leave the goalies out there with the final piece of advice, what would that be?
Um, Learn how to string your own stick,
Okay.
and when you can't get someone to shoot you, go to the wall and practice with your weak hand and your strong hand, and be able to throw the ball in any situation. Because
There you go.
being a good clearer will help you get your position, get
Aaron,
a starting job.
awesome. Aaron, thank you so much.
Thank you.